1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. I should be able to hear myself now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I should be able to hear myself now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test.
Wait.
Yeah, so it's working on Twitch and on YouTube. Not sure why it's not for you. Maybe retry Discord. Maybe that's the issue.
Hello. Hi. Wait. But I didn't hear your voice on YouTube. Wait, really? Wait, let me check the Twitch.
And I'm speaking and you should be able to hear me. So testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. I am now live. Test, test. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. I'm a bit low. The sound is a bit low. That's weird. Let me. I'm a bit low. The sound is a bit low. That's weird. So let me. Okay, now I can hear myself. I'm a bit low. The sound is a bit low. So I've closed that back up. I do hear some noise on my Twitch stream, which is strange.
Yep, I hear some noise.
Yeah, not sure how to get rid of that. Kind of strange. Let me turn my mic. Test, test. Although the microphone from the camera is not active, I did close it just to be sure. Let's see if it sounds better now. Is not active.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's
your
it.
sounds better on YouTube and Twitch now.
Yeah. So I guess it was picking up the microphone from the camera, even though it's saying it's not. So I've been lied to by my computer.
I think your microphone on Discord is using the camera one.
Yeah, did you hear me? That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna quickly go and get ready and be back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. There we go. Meow, don't need the microphone. Okay, I'm back. And I don't think I'm gonna be opening the camera microphone. So hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'll be starting here shortly. Gotta open programs. So today I'm going to continue working on the Stardew Valley mod, Ghibli town. Let's open it up. Susie. There we are. Deacon, can you hear me okay? Is everything alright?
I think you still use the camera's microphone as well on Discord.
Oh, on Discord? Okay, let me leave that conversation and enter it again. Susie, no, not the keyboard. How about now? Does the sound better now?
It sounds the same as before. Sorry.
How do I change?
Right. I send you a screenshot.
It's gotta be somewhere. Stream, no. Activity status. Voice and video, there we go. Microphone, live camera, new. I want USB. microphone.
Yes, now that's better.
Finally. Okay. Good. Hi everyone. Welcome, welcome. I see some more people joining in. Welcome everybody. Hope you are well. Today I'm streaming live with my kitty Susie, who is just not cooperating. She wants to sit on the keyboard all the time and I have to bribe her with food. There you go. There. Not the keyboard. So she's basically taxing me protection crunchies. You are evil. Sit there. Be nice. Be pretty. You can see a tail. There, don't you see them? Like honestly, she can see a fly like on easily. But she can't see food. Where did it went? I think you're sitting on it. You're sitting on your food. I don't know if you heard that. It's like complaining. When you get your dry cat food. She is on a diet, so we can't feed her too much because she's fat. So, here I am with the fence from last time. I think I left you guys off with me working on the sitting area here. It's gonna be a restaurant. And there are gonna be several restaurants in Ghibli Town. This is just one of them. Hope you like how it looks. The building was donated by Amy Stardew. She has since left the community and Minerva is taking care of her mods. So here I'm gonna put some more trees to kinda hide the place. Really wanted it to have like a woodland feel. Just wanted to let you all guys know that I have reached 100 followers on Twitch, so I'm giving away a game key. To enter, all you have to do is let me know that you want to. And Ticon, I would ask you, like, you want to test it out. I'll give you number 1. And I'm gonna write the list here. And at the end, I'm gonna use organizer. Randomizer.org to give everyone a number and then to choose who's gonna win. And that'll be that. So I'm gonna put this tree here on the layer always front. There we go. And I think I'm gonna change the background. Let's see. Kind of have the path disappear, taper off right there. Oh, I put it on the wrong layer. I always do that. I'm sorry. Like, on being an artist, it's the bane of my existence. Like, I don't know, Ticon, how often has it happened to you that you drew on the wrong layer? Can you hear me, Tikon? You seem to be having some problems. Hello. Nope, I did not hear you. Like, what's happening now? Okay, let's go back into Windows settings. Voice and video. Let's see now.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, okay, now I can hear you. Today's a bad luck day for technical stuff, I'm noticing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I was asking, like, kind of how often does it happen to you?
Well, it used to happen to me. But now I moved to painting style and it never happened to me anymore.
'Cause yeah, you're using just one layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of solving the issue. It is such a pain. There's so many memes about it. Um,
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe I should try and do one of those meme review videos I've seen people do, but like I don't know if I'd be adding anything new to the conversation, so I'm kind of on the fence if I should do that or not. Like, is that something that you'd be interested?
Maybe sure.
Because I want to do like more explaining videos, because I feel like there's so many people that just don't know stuff about artists, like how long it takes to do something, how much the labor is worth. Like I was looking at minimum income for various countries, and there are just so many countries that don't even have a minimum wage.
Mhm.
Does Indonesia have a minimum wage?
I think it does, yes.
Oh, good of your
Um,
politicians. Hey, Susie. Like, do you know what the minimum wage is in your country in dollars?
I don't know. I don't know the minimum wage in dollars, but uh, every part in Indonesia is very different.
Oh, like, it is an island state. Like, it's made up of several islands, like New
Yeah.
Zealand. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because, like, Romania is just one country where I was on some mountains. It's kind of like Switzerland, but less impressive. I did miss the mountains so much while I lived in Michigan. It's one of the flattest places on earth from my perspective. I guess Siberia would be flatter, but oh my god, Michigan was so flat. Like, I would start to see why somebody living there would think the earth is flat. Coming from a country full of mountains, even if they're not the biggest, they're still tall enough to have snow on them, even in summer. It's 2.5 kilometers. But yeah, it was kind of strange to like not have any significant elevation anywhere. Like you couldn't see anything in the distance. I guess it's kind of
Mm.
like if you lived in New York and you saw skyscrapers your whole life and then you went somewhere that didn't have them. It'd be something like that. It'd be just weird. Like the sky is empty, it's missing stuff. Do you have any skyscrapers where you are?
Well, in Jakarta, yes, there's so many skyscraper.
Hmm. We can't do very high buildings in my country because we have earthquakes, and we're not as good as Japan. Like we have,
Oh,
yeah, we have major earthquakes, only like every 30 years, so it's not that important for people to make good buildings, but it's still enough that when it does happen, like there's issues. Hi, Rin Yamaoka, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. We were just talking about skyscrapers and buildings in my country. We do have earthquakes where I am. Do you want to take part in the game key giveaway? If you do, let me know and I'll add you to the list, and then I will use a randomizer to pick a number, and whoever comes out will get to choose a game key from a list of games I have. Awesome. You are number 2. So yeah, Tikon is from Jakarta. He is also a graphic artist and he is my moderator today. You can find his YouTube channel under the name Tikon. If you want to give us your link, please
sure.
put it in the chat so people can find you. He does really pretty art. He's made fan art for me for my comic book Neil's Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures.
Oh, thank you.
And I think we met on Tapastic or on Stardew Valley group. I don't remember exactly.
I think we met first at Stardew Valley group.
Ah, cool. Neat. That's so neat.
When I asked you to play together, the multiplayer updates.
And did we play? I don't remember.
But in the end, we don't play together because the server issue.
The stir fry
I
issue?
mean, server issue. Server.
Oh, can you please type the word in the chat? And I don't always hear very well. Ah, server issue. Oh
Server.
yeah. Yeah, I think that was the time that the multiplayer still had issues, I remember. Yeah. I wanted
Yeah.
to test with Trent some stuff for our mod and just didn't work. We should definitely play sometime when we have time. I know you've been busy as well, and thank you so much for helping me out with my live
No
stream.
problem.
Tikon is the nicest person you will
No,
meet. Yay.
no, but thank you.
You're in stiff competition with Kairani, who's the nicest. she, she's really awesome as well. She is a graphic artist and a seamstress and a musician. She's so talented. And she's actually become a NPC here in Ghibli Town.
Yeah.
So you'll get a chance to meet her in the game. So now I'm kind of trying to hide this area in the back here where I'm gonna have my selling area for the gardening items. So I'm kind of building that up. And there's just an order in which I have to put these on the map because of the way Stardew Valley works when you put stuff here. Control Shift B. There we go.
Can I ask something, Hisame?
Yes, sure, please do.
Is it good for having a winter in your place?
Our winters are mild, yeah. I mean, if you wanna visit Romania during the winter time, it's quite beautiful. I would recommend to come in January because you'll actually have snow, and it will
Uh-huh.
be after the holiday. So like full December, it's Saint Nicholas, it's Saint Stephen, Saint John, it's Christmas, it's New Year, and it's just full of tourists. Like you don't want to come in December in Romania. I've had some Japanese friends come over in December. They wanted to see Romania in December because that's, I don't know when they had the opportunity. It wasn't clear to me why that was the decision. I was like, keep telling them, no, 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 bad idea. And like they didn't tell me far enough along, so I just had to like scramble with all of my relations and my parents, and was like, we need a room, we need a room to house these people in. And it was such a nightmare. They when they were in Bucharest, they stayed at the Hilton because they were elderly and they had like special how do you say package for being elderly and using the Hilton hotels. So Susie, go here. Let me move the camera. So when they stayed in Bucharest, they stayed at the Hilton, which was okay because that had free rooms, free available rooms, spare rooms. But when they wanted to visit Bran Castle, you know, Dracula's castle, like that was a whole nightmare trying to find a place for them and then get them around. It was so crowded because like everybody wanted to go visit Dracula's castle. It's always super crowded. And at least we had good weather. Like we don't always have good weather in December. Like it can be rainy. And it's like the end of November and December can be a weird time. For example, this last November, it snowed on my birthday, and it was really pretty, but like the next day was mud. So that was less fun, and you don't always get like that snowy white Christmas where I am. Like in Michigan, it wasn't an issue because it was cold, and if it rained, it became snow. So something like that. In Michigan, the winters kind of last almost 6 months. It's pretty
6 months?
exhausting. Yeah, I mean, it can snow even in April. In
What?
May, it can snow in May in Michigan. Yeah, like you get tired of winter in Michigan.
But
Yeah.
it seems fun. I mean, I never experienced a snow.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I guess you can call it fun. It was funny because we had a lot of foreigners there because it was a university. So let me put this. What? Which layer is that? Yeah, so we had a lot of foreigners. There were sometimes people from Bangladesh
Oh,
and Sri Lanka, and just places where they don't really get snow. Yeah, and it was funny because, for example, the Sri Lankans and Bangladeshi, they're so used to just going around in flip-flops everywhere that even like in the middle of winter in Michigan, where it's like over minus 20 degrees almost every day, they would like go in flip-flops to the supermarket and buy stuff. And I'm like, why? You're supposed to go in like thick boots, winter boots. Like, why are you in flip-flops? They would just go around in flip-flops at Walmart. And I think they just aren't used to like having socks and boots on their feet. They all lived their whole lives in very easy footwear, like flip-flops or just some tennis shoes, and they're just, I guess they feel constricted from what I understand, because I was just asking, like, I'm in boots, like, look at these boots, they're really thick. Like, it's winter, like, if your car breaks down, you can't leave the car and go ask for help because you'll get frostbite on your feet. And they were like, yeah, you have a point, but my car didn't break down, so I'm fine. And we had an issue once where a car did break down, got a flat tire because maybe there was something in the ice on the road, and it popped the tire. And we just didn't have a spare tire because there were already issues with our car. And we had to walk home in minus 20 degrees so that we can go home and my husband can get what he needed to fix the car.
Go back to the car.
Yeah. So he had to walk back to the car.
Oh.
And that night, I was like, I don't want to get 2 pair of pants, because that's what I usually did. Like, I would wear 2 pair of pants just to be nice and warm. But because they put so much heat in at the supermarket, I was like, oh, I'm gonna only put 1 pair of pants on. And of course, that's when I had to like walk through the freezing cold with just 1 pair of pants, and it was like a thin pair of pants, and I couldn't feel the meat on my bones. Like, it was that cold, and I couldn't take even a lukewarm shower because it felt like boiling hot water.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was very cold there. It's definitely colder than Romania, and it's the same latitude. Like, you would think that is not gonna be an issue, because it seems like, oh, it's the same latitude. But what the difference is that we have the Carpathian Mountains. And because we have the Carpathian Mountains, that blocks a lot of the freezing cold that comes from Scandinavia and Russia and things like that. Like, the winds tend to blow in from the northeast, and that's how you can actually have in the southwest of Romania Mediterranean climate, which is practically Greece climate. So we have a wide variety of climates in Romania. It's really cool. I really love that. But in Michigan, nope, it's just one weather, one climate, and whatever comes from Canada, that's what you're gonna have. Oh, so sorry about the lag. I hope she can still understand what I'm saying. Or he. So yeah, that was kind of how it was for us. You do not mess around with winter in Michigan. Like you have to be careful because like you can get stuck outside your car or something. Like for example, there was a kid that ran away from home because he was
Right.
having a bad time at home. And what happened is they found him dead behind a Target supermarket. He had frozen to death.
Is that really happened?
Yeah. And it's something that can happen in Romania as well. It's not special. Like if it's very cold in winter, people do pass away.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like not. It's not something that you can like goof around with. Hypothermia is like a real issue. Like if your body goes below 34 degrees, like you start having hypothermia, and you're not able to generate enough heat if you're not properly clothed, if it's too cold outside. Like you can die of hypothermia in Brazil as well. Like if it rains too much in winter there, like even if their winters are very mild, it's like you can still have problems. For example, Trent, the friend who does the programming for Stardew Valley mod,
Uh-huh.
for Ghibli Town, like often he'll complain in winters like, "Oh my God, it's so cold. It's 15 degrees," and I'm like, 15 degrees? That's a warm day. Like for winter, like our winters are mild and we still get minus 10 degrees, let's say. He when he heard minus 10, it was like the end of the world. But I'm like, I've been through worse. Like Michigan is cold. Like my husband here in winter, he can go with his bicycle to work, and that's really fun for him. He enjoys that. But in Michigan, he just couldn't do that. And he had a friend, a work colleague that was German. Um, like for those of you that don't know, Germany is to the north of Romania, and Europe has pretty mild weather overall. Um, like we you have the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean, so generally it's not very cold to live in Europe.
Mm.
It's definitely gonna be cold for someone that's coming from a tropical area. It kind of
Yeah.
depends. Yeah, it depends on like what you're used to. But like I would say it's not the worst place to live. It starts getting too cold once you like go to Scandinavia. But even there, like even though it's so up north, it's not as bad as it could be because of the ocean. Like it absorbs a lot of heat and releases it. Like the UK is much warmer than the equivalent in Canada, simply because of how the currents will work. So, this German colleague of my husband, like he would go with his bicycle to work every day. And my husband was like, "Oh, you know, if the German guy can do it, I can do it. Like I'm tough. Yeah, like my husband, you know, he goes to work on his bicycle in winter. Not like I don't know any other Romanian that does that. So it's like he's special by Romanian standards. He's resilient by Romanian standards. Uh, but apparently not by German standards. And um, it was funny because he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do like the German guy," and it was too cold. Like he couldn't couldn't do it. Um, and he was like,
Cold.
yeah," and he was like, "Oh, you know, I found the essence of what it is to be Romanian. Like, um, you want to be like a German until it gets tough." He was thinking like I can do what he can do. And my husband has gone over the Carpathian Mountains with his bicycle. Like, it's no small feat. Like, it's impressive. It's a lot of work to do that. So I guess he figured like, oh, it's a bit cold. I can do it. And I was like, nope. I changed my mind. You cannot do it.
It's too cold. I'm going
Yeah,
back.
yeah. He got a car. Like, he really didn't want to buy a car because it's a big expense, and it's a worry, and it's a hassle. Like, I definitely understand why he wouldn't want to get a car. Generally in Romania, you can just go and do your stuff without needing a car. So I guess he thought that you can go and do shopping like that, but the US is very different. Like, the distances are really big, and like, you cannot always do what you want without a car. It's very car dependent, and it's very annoying. Like, you can't get around without a car. How is it for you? Like, it's an island. I imagine you don't have room for many cars. Do you use bicycles
Bicycle,
most?
yeah.
Yeah, more.
Uh, there's too many motorbike in Indonesia. Some people, how do I say it?
Are not good drivers.
I mean, there's too many vehicle in Indonesia, so it makes the place too hot because of the gas,
Mm-hmm.
just like Jakarta.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. When I went to Japan, I really liked it. How much public transportation there was there. It made everything so easy to get around. I loved it. Like, I would say, out of all the places that I've ever been, I've been like to France, where it has a lot of public transportation. Um, Switzerland, Germany as well have good public transportation. Romania isn't great, but it's like a millennium ahead of the US when it comes to public transportation.
Do
And
many people ride motorbikes in Romania?
sorry, do many people ride what?
Motorbikes, bicycle?
No, because there's like still pretty expensive, and also there are more restrictions on
Oh,
it. Like, there are a lot of restrictions for motorbikes and scooters, but they're not for electric bikes. So what you find is often people will make gasoline powered bicycles, which are horrible and
yeah.
stink, and they're just the worst
Yeah,
thing ever.
that's
And
what happened in Indonesia.
yeah, and it's starting to happen here, and a lot of them are sold by China. So you can get one of these horrible conversion kits uh, from China. And I'm like, no, they're dangerous. You don't need any license. Like, nobody checks you if you're insane or stupid or anything like that. Because for a motorized vehicle, you need to have a psychological evaluation, which is easy to pass. Like, you just slip them some money, and they'll declare
Oh,
you mentally healthy. Or like, yo, a relative of a relative, and they're like, yeah, I vouch that you're mentally healthy. I'm like, no. And you need to take tests. Like, you need to be able to see, which is something that if you're using a bicycle, you don't need, because it's assumed that you're driving slowly. and that you don't need that. So, yeah, a lot of people that shouldn't be driving are now driving because of this. And it's very dangerous and unfortunate that kind of this is what's happening. I've seen like the people that are getting like electric bike conversions. They're still limited in speed because they're not these homemade things. Like you buy a kit that is made and is limited simply because of the battery and everything like that and the motors. Like there seems to be more oversight over the electric ones. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but it just seems. Maybe it's what the market is looking for as well.
Well, the electric vehicles are still very limited or very rare in Indonesia. So most of us still use the gasoline motorcycle.
I think that's pretty good. That they're limited. I wish there was more oversight over this stuff because it just feels like it's not enough. Also, like our police is not like the most active. Like they will do their job, but it's like I don't really wanna. Like it's like this reluctancy. For example, we have gangsters and gangs, and they get into fights and things like that, and police will just go and maybe eat popcorn and look at them and just not interfere. And I mean, I get why they don't want to interfere. It's like I don't get paid enough for this sort of thing, but and also it's like not as bad as in maybe other places. Like in the US, it's very bad, the gangsters. Like we don't have guns. Like the only weapons that our gangsters have is sticks and katanas bought off the internet that they've sharpened because they're usually sold unsharpened, and like it's not the best metal. Like you're probably gonna hit someone and just break your sword. But like yeah, the difference between the US and Romania when it comes to gangsters, it's wow. For example, I went in Chicago. I had to go with a friend to help her take care of the baby while she did some paperwork. So we were in Michigan, and Chicago was in Illinois, the next state over. And we didn't have a consulate in Michigan. There was only in Chicago in Illinois, the state of Illinois. So we had to go 500 miles, which I guess is 650 kilometers or something like that. And she had a small child, and she needed to drive. So she drove, and I took care of the baby in the back seat. I made sure it was okay, if it needed anything. And I wanted to like go visit around Chicago and look, and I saw the Trump Towers and things like that. And I wanted to eat, so I was like, oh, just pop in a restaurant and eat something. And to my shock and surprise, I got asked for ID because there's a curfew. Like in Chicago, you cannot go outside to eat after a certain hour, and I think it was 10 o'clock.
Wait, really?
Yes, after 10 o'clock, you have to provide ID. And I wasn't gonna give my passport to some random waitress on the street on the street that I found that I was wanting to eat, and I was like, what? What? I'm not giving you my passport. I'm gonna go starve. Because I thought initially that it was like some kind of joke or something. Like I wasn't taking it seriously. I thought that restaurant was weird. So I was like, I'm gonna go somewhere else to eat. And at all the restaurants that I went, they all asked me for ID, and it was just so crazy. And then I think there was some kind of emergency because like helicopters were going everywhere, police cars, and they were just driving very aggressively. I nearly got ran over by a police car because I was trying to cross the sidewalk. And like, yeah, Chicago was weird. Yeah, super weird. Like, I didn't expect it to be like that. Like, you see it in the movies as being a certain way, and like each state is different. My dad, when he visited France, he went to New York and California, which are kind of like the more European style of states, I guess. And like, yeah, he also like ran into some things that he didn't believe were true until he like saw them with his own eyes.
Yeah.
But you know, it was an interesting experience. What can I say? Like, what would do you think would be weird to foreigners if they were to visit Jakarta?
I think there's a lot, but I cannot say because there's so many that I cannot think one of it. Just like Azan, do you know Azan?
Azan? No, what is that?
It's a Muslim prayer calls.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the foreigners,
Ah, okay, yeah. They're in Turkey as well. Very loud.
yeah,
Hey,
there's a lot
Kay.
in Indonesia.
When he visited France, who visited France? I visited France like when I was a kid. It was like been over 20 years ago. I think he said Aizan or something like that.
Yeah, Azan.
Ah, my
Most
dad.
people,
So my dad visited France with me when I was a kid, but he visited California and New York like 15 years ago. I think it was before Obama. Also, how have you been, Kay? How's it going? Thanks for coming. Oh, I reached 100 followers on Twitch, Kerani. If you want to join the game key giveaway, let me know and I'll add you. Kerani, be number 3. I mean, you've always participated in everything I've done, so I'm just by default putting you because I know you will want to. Thank you! Yay! I have 100 followers on Twitch. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I was looking for the word subscribe. But I'm like still a bit far away from getting monetized, so that's a bummer. I need the what I call it, 4,000 hours of watch time. I'm still at 3,700. It's a slow increase. Thank you everyone for all the support you've shown me, by the way. Thank you so much. Like, I wouldn't have gotten this far without you guys. Like, I would say the weirdest thing for foreigners if they visit Romania is the stray dogs. Like, it's not as bad as it used to, but back in the day, you had to be careful where you walked. Like, yeah, you would have to walk looking down. Oh, somebody subscribed. Yay, thank you. I've heard something. And I don't see it. Ah, there it is. The horrible lag. Rin Yamaoka is now following you. Thank you, Rin. Thank you kindly. Like it's not as bad as it used to be. So now it's better. If you visit Romania, like you'll still get your garden variety scammers, you know, just walking on the street trying to trick tourists or locals, especially in like the old town part where there's like a lot of tourists and people that might be ignorant of scams because they don't have it where they come from. But yeah. Otherwise, like whenever you go to a country, it's good to have like a guide. I would say that's the best thing you can do. You just have a guide. When I went to Japan, I had my hosts that were sort of a guide for me, but like they were working full time every day, so they mostly let me go by myself, and they're like, "Are you gonna be okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been through whole of Europe, and like it's nothing. I can handle myself. Is there anything I should know about Japan?" And they were like, "No, it's peaceful. And like we don't have any like serious violence or anything, so you should be fine." I was like, "Okay, awesome." And like I didn't have any issues in Japan. Everybody was like surprisingly helpful to the point of being annoying. Yeah, like one time I asked this guy like how to get to Tokugawa Museum, and he like, "Hey you kid, come over here." And like my Japanese isn't great, so I'm kind of guessing what the old man said to the kid. It was like, um, "You take this girl to the Tokugawa Museum." And he was like, "Yes, elder, I will do as you say." And it was just such a weird situation for me because I was like, "No, thank you. I can take care of
Yeah, I know.
myself. I'm a big girl. I'm a strong, independent woman. Leave me alone." Um, and like the poor kid, like I don't think he had a choice. From what my host later explained to me, is like once an elder gives you a job, you have to do it or fall on your sword, sort of thing. And I was like, "Why do you do this to your kids?" Like maybe you had better stuff to do than walk around the tourist. I don't know. And it was just so weird. And I like didn't know how to get rid of him. And I kind of walked into this restaurant, and I was telling him like, "I'm gonna go, bye, sayonara." And he stood in front of the restaurant, and I was hiding in there from him and like hoping he goes away. I told him like I was with my dictionary, and I said, "Thank you, I will walk by myself. I just want to go and eat." And he stood there in front of the restaurant very awkwardly, and I was looking at my watch and like hiding behind um, like a column, a support beam of the restaurant. And like everybody in the restaurant was kind of looking at me with their side eye. Loving the
Everyone
chat.
was confused.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I knew that Japanese people are confused by foreigners, and I knew it was like, oh, you know, he'll just think they will just think I'm a crazy foreigner and just let me be, and not ask me if I need anything, because that was like the last thing I wanted. Like, just stop helping me, go away. And so in the end, he left, and I was like, oh, phew, I'm free. Cause I mean, I'm sure he had better stuff to do. Ah, Susie, no, 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 no. Stay there, good kitty. And oh, she closed my menus. Ah, Susie, what did you press? Like I lost my side menus. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Susie. How do I get them back? Window. Help. What did you
I think you
press?
need to reopen it again.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, there they are. Awesome. And what I was saying, yeah, and the poor kid, like, I was 21, I think. He looked like he was 15. Could have been older. It's hard to tell with faces like ethnicities that you're not used to, kind of. Like, I remember my host was just having the time of his life, me guessing wrong Japanese people's ages. Like, he was like, how old do you think that woman is? And I'll be like, oh, I think she's 50. And he was like, no, she's 17. And I was like, how do you know? And he's like, I know, I've lived here. I've lived here all my life. And he was like a baby boomer, so he was like really old by my standards. Um, yeah, so it was just always like funny things like this happening. And yeah, like that poor kid, I'll never forget him. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, why do this?
No choice.
Yeah, no choice. Honor of the country or something. It was really funny when young people couldn't speak English, and I was like, how do you not speak English? Like, how do you survive on the internet without English? What? Why don't you speak English? Like, everybody speaks English. Like, do you speak Chinese? Is like Chinese the second language in Japan? I've learned that that is not the case. It would be like the last language that would ever be spoken by a Japanese person somehow. Um, so yeah, social political issues, and like they don't have a second language like we have in Europe. Like in Europe, everybody learns Latin and English in school. Just like you don't have a choice. You learn Latin and you learn English. And when communists invaded my country, you had to learn Russian. And like nobody speaks Russian because
Oh.
everybody hates it. And so yeah, and I assumed because of the young people that like nobody in Japan speaks English, because at the airport the staff didn't speak English. And I was like, how the heck do you work in an airport and you do not speak English? What is going on? How is that a thing? And so I went with my dictionary and I was trying to get to a bookstore. And so I was trying to speak in Japanese to the salaryman. If you don't know what that is, it's just, your average employee that has a suit, like a banker or something like that. And was this old guy in a park. I was like, excuse me, sir, where to the library? Or to the bookstore? And he looked at me, saw I was European, and he was like, oh, you go left and then right. And I was like, oh my god, thank you, you speak English. And if you ever go to Japan and you're not managing and you need to find somebody that speaks English, look for old people. Like, they will speak English because of the American occupation. Like, go for baby boomers. Like, you have more chances of them speaking that. In Europe, it gets like a more dicey. For example, they're French people. They're gonna say they don't speak English. Yeah. For example, my dad went to Brussels in Belgium, I think. And that's in the Wallon side, not the Flamand. And I think the Flemish are French speakers or something like that. Anyway, he went to the cab driver and he spoke in French to him because my dad speaks French and English and Turkish and Italian and blah blah blah. And he spoke in French to the taxi driver, and he was like, no, I don't speak French. Do you speak English? Speak to me in English, or something like that. And my dad was like, okay. I guess wrong the which side is which. And I mean, in Romania we even have jokes about the Belgians. For those of you that don't know, Itzig and Stroll are Jewish names. So, there was this school, it's a joke. It's not a real story. There was this school in Belgium, and the teacher says Wallons on one side and Flamands on the other, and then Itzig in the middle is like, but teacher, Belgians, where do we sit? The idea being that, like, Itzig, he thought he was Belgian. And there is no such thing as a Belgian. There are Flamands and Wallons, and they hate each other. It's not as bad as it used to be in the Middle Ages, from what I heard, but, like, they still don't like each other. Ah, wrong. Guess I can put it on the front layer. There we go. And I can put my light here. Like, there are a lot of little old conflicts in Europe, and, like, it's easily to piss everybody off. But, I mean, they're a lot more chill about it now. Like, World War II was 100 years ago, so, like, people are not that obsessed by these things anymore. And it's, like, more of a joke to use, like, being angry for the sake of tradition. Like, oh, we don't like these guys, we blah blah blah. Do you have anything like that in Indonesia? It was just like performative gripe.
I, I honestly I don't know.
Well, that's good. Probably don't have that much. For example, Romanians like traditionally do not get along with Hungarians and vice versa. It's like 500-year-old history, basically, which I don't know if I should get into, but like it's mostly funny and not serious, fortunately. So it's not nice that we kind of had peace for so long that this stuff is like more of a joke than like serious.
Well, in Southeast Asian, most of the country mock each other as a joke,
Hmm.
but uh, it is a joke.
Like,
We don't take it very seriously.
uh huh. So like, who dislikes who? Cause like I don't have insight into that world. I've seen Malaysians make a lot of jokes about China.
Wait, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They've even made like books about it. And I was like, some of these are funny. Like the fertilizing thoughts of Chairman Mao. And all the communist propaganda is replaced with cats. Like all the heads are replaced with cats.
Mm-hmm.
So like who does Indonesia have a gripe against? Actually not
Well,
much.
is it okay to talk in here?
Yeah, sure. Like let me know. I mean if it's only jokes, like I think people can
Yeah.
be sympathetic
Well,
about it. Like for example, French and British people don't like each other, and British people call French people frog eaters. But like you don't need to tell us the insult. You can just tell us like who doesn't get along with who, or like who makes fun of who.
well, m- Indonesian, uh, of- Malaysian and Indonesia often mock each other. For example, like we know how to use a curse word from Malaysia, and I think they know how to use a curse word from Indonesia. But in the end, when some country outside the Southeast Asian mocking us, we unite together and mock the other country.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of happens with us as well. Like, we find, like, a common enemy to be upset about.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Canada, we have French-English hybrids. Yeah, like, you're the... Like, how do British and French people view Canada? The Quebec side. Like, the one that's, like, really bilingual. Kirani is from Canada.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, that's the place I was telling you about. It's really cold. Tikon has never seen snow, if I understood correctly from you.
Yeah. Yeah. Never. Never in my life.
It's not the worst thing, but it, like, can be exhausting. Atien, sia. Hi, Atien. Welcome to my channel. How's it going? I hope you can hear me. A lot of people are grumpy at Quebec, to be honest, using their sovereignty rights to do their own thing. Yeah, never ending issues. Images of mingled bilingual communities all over the country. I think that's pretty beautiful to, be bilingual. I think it definitely makes your mind more flexible to environments, and it's just easier to adapt to stuff. Or at least I feel like that should be the principle of things. So, like a swirly abstract painting. That sounds nice. Guess I could put this on the building layer. Let me see, what can I erase? Always front? It's on the always front? Okay. And put this one on the building as well, because you're not gonna enter that place. Although I think I can put it on the front. Let me see. Front. Cut this one. Put it on the back.
Also about the giveaway. Maybe
Oh,
Atin
yeah,
Shasha
yeah,
want
yeah.
to join.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me, Tikon. You're awesome. So, Sia, Atien, doing a game key giveaway to anybody that is watching now the live stream and wants to take part in it. I have reached 100 followers, and every time I reach 100 followers, I celebrate a milestone. And I think the next one will be 200. But right now, because I reached 100 followers on Twitch, I am giving away a game key. It's not like a big expensive game because it's a small milestone. But you will be allowed to like choose a game from a list if you win. And if you wanna join, let me know and I'll add you to the pot of potential winners, and I'm going to be using randomizer.org to choose a winner. Hope I explained that well. Sometimes I speak too fast.
That's good.
So let's see, after half an hour lag, what will get to them and if they'll be able to answer. Like, I think I had 30-second lag or something like that. Yeah, best to write. They might be like listening from work or something. You're not actually here. Good,
Uh-huh.
good thinking. I think that's like crowded enough. Not be able to see very well when you go in the map anyway. I'm thinking. I want to give it like a.
So,
Sorry?
sorry, Hisame. I need to answer a door very quick. I'll be right back.
Sure,
Okay.
take care. Uh, Control Shift Z. I want that back. Yes. What? Ah, crunchy yum yums. Oh, awesome. Thank you for telling me. I did not notice. Susie. Somebody redeemed crunchy yum yums for you. Ah, did you hear that? Oh, she loves these. Ooh, look at it, she loves the bag. Yeah, you love the bag? Show everybody how much you love the bag. Look at her. You're like, feed me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not gonna torment you any longer.
I'm back.
Welcome
Ooh,
back.
crunchy yum.
Yeah, crunchy yum yum. Yeah, bag is empty. Yay. You managed to eat it all. Let's see if I can get it on camera. Hi. Welcome. I'm doing a game key giveaway. I've reached 100 followers on Twitch, so whoever wants to join, please let me know and I'll give you a number, and at the end of the stream I'll select a winner. I can't be near cats. Aww. I'm so sorry. Yeah, my brother loves cats as well and he's allergic. I'm so sorry. They're so fluffy and cute. I love cats. I'm so glad I'm not allergic. I'm so sorry for you. So, do you want to join the giveaway? I don't think he can hear us. I think we have to write to him. Yeah, stop flicking. Yeah, thank you for typing that. I was just about to type.
No problem.
Okay, so back to tiled. To work on the back.
Is Kay and Kasumi the same person?
Yeah. She,
Oh.
like she has, a personal account and a business account because she has like her own art giveaways and events and things like that. She has her own server. If anybody wants to join, it is a gaming server. My server is more like stuff that I do and I just notify people. But like she has like a more complex thing going on than I do. I gotta take this off this layer, put it on buildings. Kirani, if you wanna give us the link to your server, please do in the comments. Kids side group. Yeah, she also has one for kids. What else do you do? You do karaoke night? Okie dokie. Who's so good? It's all on pause till we move, but oh, it's on pause because you're moving. Awesome. Hope you're finding a better place. Fluffy kitty. Oh, excuse me for interrupting your busy grooming schedule, but your tail is on my keyboard. Bleh. Funny cat. What are you doing? You're like dragging everything down from the table. Her favorite thing to do is when I'm cooking to just grab hold of the cloth is on the table and just pull it so just everything falls off. Yes, crafts, karaoke, and gaming stuff. So that was Kirani's server on Discord. It is currently put on pause, but it will be back soon. They are changing locations. So I'm really excited for you guys. Kirani also kind of has like a small, not sure how to call it, artist kind of market. Like for example, she is my distributor in that local Canadian area for my comic books and some other merch. So like you can still join her server.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired me to start learning graphic design? Oh, thank you. Glad I'm inspiring you. It is a beautiful job to have. Earning a living from something that I could enjoy has always been like a great desire of mine. The idea of just having a job that I can't stand and hate wasn't an option for me, especially since like you don't have a certainty that you will make enough money even if you become an accountant or something like that. Like there's no guarantee that you will be happy. So that you will be earning enough money. So for me it was like, at least I'll know I'll be happy even if I'm poor, because like you can be poor and be an accountant. It's like not a guarantee. What happened to my warp tiles? They're gone again. I think I must have deleted them. I keep doing this, very annoying. There we go. Like that's where a door should be and you enter the garden area. As always guys, let me know what you want me to talk about. Like do you want me to talk about how I entered the industry? Because I don't know how it is everywhere. I just know how it's been for me. I did film school because I wanted to do animation. There wasn't, there wasn't like much of graphic design school where I was. Like there were some courses at the at the film university, at the arts university, and at the marketing university. And like it's a pretty new job, and anything that's like new has a hard time and takes a long time to get to my country. So while these things are separate jobs in other places, when I was in school it was just sort of a mishmash of everything, and like good luck trying to figure out stuff.
Can you tell us about yourself? I mean, when you were an animator.
So I studied animation at the film school, and then I found a job as a junior animator online. Like for my country, there are websites named eJobs and bestjobs.ro because it's Romania, and I think these websites are in other countries as well. I don't know for outside of the European Union, but these are in the European Union as far as I know. And I just applied for the job, and they called me and they were like, send us some art, a portfolio, and I sent them the portfolio. And they also gave me an art test, like draw this in 24 hours and then send it to us. And I like it when it's offline because I can just relax and do it. And I'm doing it in privacy of my home. I prefer that. But sometimes you'll show up to the interview and like, we don't want to talk to you, do the test first and then we'll talk. And they just look at the image, what you drew, and you get like half an hour to draw something quickly. And it can be stressful. They might have crappy equipment and you like have to deal with that issue. So for the first animation job that I got, like I said, it was a test I had to do at home and just send them, and they're happy with it. So they started sending me more stuff to do. I did meet them in person because they were also Romanian in the same city as me. They were working with people outside of the capital, from cities, from other places in Romania. And anyway, I signed the contract and I started working with them. And we did everything online because they weren't that financially well off to have an office for everybody and like give good enough jobs, payment to work with people from the capital, because living expenses in the capital are higher than other places in Romania. So if you can't afford to pay well, nobody here is gonna want to work with you, so you kind of have to hire in rural areas or something like that. And that's how I had my first animation job. That was a junior animator, and I animated background stuff like leaves in the wind. I got what do you call them? People in the background, like when the prince was passing through the village. Like I had to animate people blinking and being, oh, the prince. You know, kind of do stuff like that, or just have
Yeah.
guards at the palace and at the city entrance just talking to him or things like that. So that's what I had to do. And then at another animation job, we corrected stuff for companies like Warner Brothers that had Tom and Jerry, Nickelodeon that had like Dora the Explorer and things like that. And we'd have to do lip sync. So for them, I did a lot of lip sync. And fortunately for us, Romanian and Spanish are pretty close. So doing lip sync in Spanish or in English, it wasn't an issue because I know how the mouth is supposed to be. And I would look in the mirror and go, "Hola, yo soy Dora," and then I would look at my mouth and then do the lip sync for her. And I would have already the audio from the actors. So that is how you usually do lip sync. You have the final voice, and then you do the lip sync according to the voice. So you're sure it fits. Because it's harder for the actor to hit right the sounds when the mouth is already animated. It's easier to animate according to the voice actor. Like I never did any special or spectacular animations. I just did like stuff that needed to be done. Were there any other questions you wanted me to answer?
Um, Do you know Shirobako, anime from Japan? Shirobako.
Yeah, I love it a lot. Like, let me write
Is
it.
that really true? The situation.
Shirobaka. Yeah, it is painfully accurate. Like, that
Oh,
is. And, like, that's a happy situation. Like, most of the time for them, the stuff is working. Like, it could be way worse than that. Like, the industry is pretty broken. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys and tell you that it's easy to be an animator or anything like that. It's tough. And you know, a lot of people take advantage of that, and also see a lot of artists that are being stupid about it. I'm like, I've heard artists say, "Oh, you know, we do it for the passion, not for the money." I'm like, "Oh, you should be doing it for the money. You are a human being. You need water. You need food. You need security. You need a place to live. You cannot get these things with passion." Stop saying
true.
bullshit like that, because you're putting the rest of us in a bad situation. Like, oh, we're not passionate enough. We're not good artists, therefore. Like, how dare we demand fair pay and living wages and, heaven forbid, time off. So, I really don't like these types of artists. They're like, you know what? You can do it for passion. I'm also doing it for passion, but I also want to live. Like, is that too much to ask? I like to think no. And hopefully these things will change in time. Are you hunting me, Susie? Like, she's over here. Finally sitting where I made her spot to sit. Like, there's a lot of crunch in the industry. Like, the whole film industry is pretty broken. Like, I think right off from the film school, you like get bad habits and you just carry them throughout your whole life. Um, Lack of resources is always an issue, so therefore you cut corners where you can, and that is people's sleeping time. So for example, we only had one sound studio for all the years, for all the students, and we had the same exam period basically, both licensed and master students. So I had to, for example, book from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. So I had to work at night and several times. In order to have a sound studio, because the homework was that I had to mix in 5.1 Dolby surround, and that the program that I was using, Nuendo, could not mix Dolby surround unless equipment that was 5.1 Dolby surround was attached to the program. I hope they've changed that in the 10 years, but that was the situation at the time. And so I had to work in the middle of the night so I would have access to the studio. And I remember like colleagues of mine that were even less able to organize their lives. Like they would just sleep on the ground in the university. And like, yeah, it encourages bad behavior, unhealthy behavior quite early on. And I feel that kind of mentality and like this type of behavior being considered acceptable just carries on through life. And yeah, I don't think it's something good to be teaching the students. And yeah.
Mm.
Like, you're always gonna have these types of issues because you need to film, for example, if the film director or whatever wants early dawn scenes, like you have this an hour of film time where you hope you have good weather or the weather that you want at dawn. And so you have to set up everything in the middle of the night. And if you have monsters and princesses, you need the costume department to get that stuff done. And my dad, that has worked in the film industry, like he would have to be on a mountain in winter in mud because that was needed for the film sequence. So I much prefer animation. Just sit at home and or a cozy studio and do this work. And yeah, it can be grueling. It can be painful. Like, look at how behind the scenes for Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, and you have like actors freezing their butts off in the middle of the night. It's not easy work.
Yeah, I often heard about from my friend about animation industry in Japan is worse than in the other industry.
I don't know. Japan is just bad all around for workers. I don't know. Like, it's pretty weird compared to Romania. Like, in Romania, we have so many days off in the government section, not the private section. I mean, if you work in the private sector, you will be worked to death here as well. But if it's like the government sector, like, you can have an easy life in Romania. It just depends where you work and how you work. Because a lot of people, they want Romanian workers because they're cheap and easy to abuse. So
Mhm.
that's why you'll have a lot of people come and hire from Romania. Like, police usually don't really care or are easily bribed. So you can just do whatever you want. Almost. Like, there are limits. I hope. Is it on the front layer? Why is my path? Oh my gosh, what a mess here. There we go, now it looks better. But like, that's just, how it is. I guess this one's on the buildings layer. I would say that it is like not the worst country to be in. Like, we're still in the European Union. We still have some protection laws. Like, there are worse countries you can be in. And also it like depends on the industry. Like, if you're a young woman working in a casino, you're gonna run into really unpleasant customers. Or if you're working like in one of those betting houses, like, again, you can like have really creepy guys there. But in Japan, I mean, I don't know. I've only visited briefly, and like, there were weird things that my host like keep asking me what do I think about it, because I guess it was interesting to him to see my reaction about stuff. Like, for example, there were women only train carts, and my host, pointed that out to me. It was like, look, there's a train cart and it's only for women. What do you think of that? And I was like, why are only women allowed in that train cart? Like, that's so weird. Why are they discriminating against men? And he said that is because men grab women's butts from overworking herself. Oh, That's such a sad story. And he was like, men are grabbing women's butts on the train, and women want a safe place to travel, and so that's why they have a cart for them. And I was like so puzzled, because in Romania, if a guy grabs a woman's butt, he will be beaten. And everybody else on the side that sees that are just gonna grab popcorn and enjoy the spectacle. Like there's no pity or help for the guy. It's like, you did that with your own hands. Good luck, bro. Sort of mentality. Like I wouldn't say that women in Romania are peaceful and kind and what do you call it? Submissive wives. Like no. They're more like Italian or African, I would say. Than British or Japanese. Like, I wouldn't say there's any reputation of Romanian women being submissive. So, I mean, if the woman is really short and is afraid to fight the guy, like, she will ask for help. And, like, for example, I was one time in a bus going somewhere, and some guy did something to some lady. I don't know what was going on, but she complained, and then two other guys came and like told that guy, the supposed offender, like, you getting off at the next stop. And the guy was complaining, and they just grabbed him and tossed him out of the bus, and like that was it. So, I mean, if like you're gonna get misogynistic comments in Romania, you're mostly gonna get it from corporate foreigners and weird ladies, old women on the bus. Like, I've heard this so many times. Oh, you're so beautiful. Why do you dress like that? Or why do you have that haircut? Or blah blah blah. And I always get it from old women. Or like I've never had a man tell me, "Oh, you should dress better to impress me." Like, no, it's old women. Like, you should dress more feminine to get a husband or whatever. And I'd be like underage, and I'd be like, "You're a crazy person. Go away." Like, why do you want me to get married, old lady, random old lady on the bus? You're weird. Go away. And like, that's the kind of stuff that you usually deal with here. I've had a weird situation in America. Like, I've never had it in Romania. Where a guy, I was at the dumpster just. Oh, sub to Crunchyroll. Awesome. Yeah, Crunchyroll is great. It has animes and all things like that. If you want to put the link in here for everybody, Kirani, please do. So I was at the dumpster in USA. I was just throwing the trash. And some guy came up to me and told me that I should smile more. While I was
Wait, what?
Yeah, that I should smile. Cause I was throwing the trash and I was like, "Ugh, this smells so bad." And then he came up to me and I was looking at him like, "Oh my god, this whole area stinks." And I guess he was upset that I wasn't smiling because I saw him. Weird guy. He was some kind of religious creep that was going around the campus handing out flyers to people that they should like join the cult, like Latter-day Saints or something. And I also had like these. Oh, somebody redeemed. Crunchy. Let's see. Dry cat food. I need to get the box for it. Oh no, here it is. Do you want, Susie? So like in the US, you have these guys that want you to join their cult and leave your family for 2 years and have no contact with your family, which is just so bizarre. Like they came to
Yeah,
my
so
door.
creepy.
Yeah, they came to my door and they were telling me that like I should leave my husband for 2 years and go stay with them on their weird farm. And I was like, no, I just got married. I'm still happy. We're still like happy together. Like maybe after 20 years of marriage, I'll take you up on that offer. But right now, we're still happy. No, thank you. And one of them was a white American, so he was like Midwestern farm boy, something. And the other one looked Polynesian to me. And so I looked at that guy and asked him, where are you from? And he said Samoa. American Samoa. So American Samoa, if you don't know, is an American colony. They cannot vote. I'm not sure if they pay taxes or not. But basically the only way for them to get off the island is to join the army or these weird dudes. So like it's a very poor place and is not doing great. Like the only thing that they have as an export, as far as I know, is rugby players. Like the U.S. has American football and has rugby, and the entire rugby team of a continent-sized country like the U.S. with 300 million people, all their players pretty much come from Samoa, the American side. And so I started chatting with him about rugby because I'm a fan of rugby. And I was like, we were chatting. The the white American guy was just beyond the subject. He was just looking at us, and we were talking. And asked him like, haven't you talked with your family in 2 years? Like, isn't this weird and creepy and things like that? And like you can obviously see that he agreed with me that it was a bad situation for him, but he just didn't have any better options. And I thought that was just, so sad. That he is in that situation, and like extreme poverty, that you're the only way to get off an impoverished island is to join a creepy cult. And yeah, that was my interpretation of the situation, because he didn't seem too happy about it. But hope he's doing better. And like he found what he wanted and more needed. Because I can't imagine it being a very easy life. Let's see, do we have front layer I can put it? Laser Bonanza. Oh, guys. You want to see this? Okay, let's see. How do we set up the... Susie, I can't see the screen. How do I set up the camera? Like one of these days, I promise it will be like okay in my room so that I can show you guys. Like she will chase after the laser like crazy. Let's see if I can move the camera better.
Wait.
Yeah, like she runs through the whole house. Susie, where are you going? She just fell. I don't know if you guys heard her. She fell off the chair. Susie, ai c'è Susie. Susie. Uite acolo la Susie, laser. Look, there it is. Come on, you silly cat. Ah. Like, there she is.
She just sit there.
Yeah, I can't, she moves too fast. I'm trying to catch her.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah, like you can see part of the tail and the mess that is in my house. Susie. Like, she can chase this until she gets exhausted. Usually I stop if I see her panting like a dog, and I'm like, oh, okay, I overdid it. I don't want, yeah, like I don't want her to have a heart attack or anything. Like, she's not rational when it comes to lasers. Like, she will be the laziest cat ever. Until she sees the laser, and like she'll chase it until she has no air left in her. Yamero Suze. Yamero, I'm assuming you want me to stop something, but Suze, I don't know.
Yamero.
I think he meant to say maybe Susie, like for her to stop doing something. I'm trying to always look, see if I catch her on camera. Where's the laser? Where's the laser? It is mocking you, it is taunting you. Like, you should see her when she tries to catch a fly. And for such a fat cat, she's surprisingly agile. Like, you wouldn't think that she could move all of her fat. Like, if I would run as much as her, I would be my wrists and knees would just hurt. But that's how gravity works on Earth. If you're lighter, then the gravitational force is less because it's dependent on mass. The acceleration is the same. So basically the force that impacts my knees is higher. That's why you cannot have like animals that are bigger than elephants and still be as fat. First of all, they would cook from the inside out. I mean, there's also that issue. Like, now, since I'm overweight, if I exert myself too much, I can get a heat stroke. It's called in English, where basically I'm not cooling off enough and the temperature for my head exceeds what is recommended, basically. And you can get like sunstroke or heat stroke are the same thing, it's just different names in English. You get sunstroke, you can get heat stroke from the sun or from overexertion, and if you're overweight, because like the body's not cooling enough and the temperature is getting too high. And I Like, I am part Turkish, but like I kind of resemble my Caucasian relatives more, so I don't know if there's any difference, like with the blood type and things like that. But I grew up in a temperate climate, not in a tropical one. So I've noticed that in Michigan, like I would be much more colder than the people who have lived there their whole lives. I think it's just how you adapt in time. I've also noticed that when I came back to Romania after 5 years of living in Michigan, the first winter that we had just seemed so mild and warm to me. And other Romanians that hadn't, yeah, like they hadn't left Romania, they continued to live there. They told me, like, I was so cold yesterday. It was so cold yesterday. I was like, no, it was not cold yesterday. That is not that is not cold. I know what cold is. That's not cold. And it was just like this funny, weird situation to be in. I felt like that was like a funny situation. I've gotten used to the temperature there. I've since lost that. Like I don't have that anymore. Now I'm cold again. But yeah. We had a neighbor that was from Florida while we lived in Michigan. And he was just so hilarious in the way he treated snow. Like it was the first time he'd ever seen snow. Even though he was living in the US, he was just living in the really warm part of the US that never gets any snow. And for example, in his car, he tried to clean it, to clean the snow with his hand. And obviously his delicate southern hand got cold and he stopped and he just walked to school. Which wasn't too far, but it was just weird. Like, just use a brush or use anything. Use a, what do you call them, mittens, to like keep your hand warm. It was just a funny situation. Like, I've never seen anybody be so incompetent against snow. Let's see here. If I put this on the buildings layer, awesome. It's behaving like I wanted it to. And now I'm gonna put it on the front. And now you should be able to kind of pass through there and not have an issue. And still kind of have some trees and be kind of a more thicker area. I think it will look better with trees all around. I've been meaning to put trees for a long time, but I kept moving the buildings, and I think I'm finally decided where every building's going to be, and hopefully not move them anymore.
Someone redeem Scratchy Scratch.
Hey, Susie, psst, psst. Come for Scratchy Scratch. Come here, Susie. Susie, psst, psst, psst. Let's see if I can put the camera so you don't see the disaster in my house, but have Susie. Hey, she's like, no food, no, not coming. Let's see what I have here. Aha, caught you good. Oh. brush? We brush you? Let's see if you can get it on the camera. You want? There's not much room on my desk. I need a bigger desk. Ah, you do like it. She now sits there to be groomed. Finally found a position. Scratch me more, human. I think she likes it like this, not the long way. We have a lot of expectations. If we want quality grooming, human. Like usually at the cheeks here, she really likes it. But she's on my keyboard, so I'm like, how do I do it where she wants? Okay, she's pressing my emojis. Yeah, she generally likes it. Like at first she's always like, nah, I don't want to, but then she wants. So like when I take her out, I haven't taken her out because it is tick and flea season. Even if it's been raining a lot, like I went bicycling and I got a tick on my leg, so I was like, yeah, I'm not taking you out anymore. Yeah, and I think I'll end the stream here because giveaway, right. Let me go to... Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? No, not now. Okay, let's see. Random organizer. Susie, not on the keyboard. There we go. Let's see. Your Majesty, put this up.
Wait.
There we go.
Milanesa. Welcome.
Oh,
Jill.
hi, Jilan-san. You can call me Jilu. Jilu. Awesome. We're just doing the giveaway. Do you want to participate? I'm giving away a game key. Let's see. How many numbers do you want to generate? 4. Let's just maybe write 4. Number range from 1 to 4. We're just about doing a giveaway. Sorry, but thanks. Okay, so let's see. Do you wish each number to set unique? Blah blah blah. Okay, so I am on the randomizer. Do you wish this number to remain unique? Do you wish to sort numbers that are generated? Do you wish to view your random numbers? I don't know. Randomize now. I don't understand. I'll need to... I think I'll just put the numbers in a hat at this point. Smallest, largest value. Get sequence. Okay. So I'll take the first one. So number 2. Oh, Rin. Awesome. Congratulations, Rin. You have won a game key. Let me just give you the list shortly here. So good that you're in my server as well. Let me go to the list of games. So these game keys have been donated by a supporter. So these are the games. It did put it in one list. I'll show you in the Discord server, and you can pick which game you want, and I will give you the key in a DM. So yeah, congratulations, Rin. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. This Thursday I am going to be streaming again. I think I'll be doing some more work from my comic book, Neil's 5 Months Time Traveling Adventures. I will do maybe Evie's character sheet. She's a new character that's gonna be in the comic books. What else I had to tell you guys? I think that was it. You can always follow me on social... Oh, the quick draw collab. Good thing I remembered. Tikon? So you said that you would be joining us, so that's gonna be Saturday, I think, or Sunday, 26th. When is the 26th?
26th, okay.
Saturday seems to be. So everyone, I will be updating you exactly the day and the time. So the Quick Draw Collab is a art event where artists join together and draw. June Fender and Stephen Deluxe will be joining us again. They were last year as well. And if anybody else wants to join, please let us know. Anybody can join the Quick Draw Collab. Just let us know. And you can see on YouTube the last events. You just look for Hisame Artwork and Quick Draw Collab. Let me show H2. So it should give you my YouTube channel link, and you can see there in the event playlist all the past Quick Draw collabs, how they are, and we use Drawpile. And yeah. Any questions? Let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Again, thank you, Tikon, for moderating for me. So appreciated so much. Tikon is
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Tikon is a graphic artist as well. You can find him on YouTube and on Twitter and on Tapastic. So yeah, take care everyone. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.